While it may not be April as you're watching this, this topic is very heavy and should be talked about year round. I am a survivor of sexual assault, not a victim. This is a very touchy subject for me, something very personal to me. And while I may not be talking about my personal experience and story, I will be sharing the before, afters, bad and good of my situation. And hold on with me for a second. As I said, good, I mean that as in finding light at the end of the tunnel, because with bad, you still find good aspects to the situation. For me, my story is very personal and very triggering, and I know that this topic can be triggering to a lot of people. So I just wanted to share some things that I've dealt with because I want to be a person that people can relate with and feel like they're not alone. I wanted to make this video now because as I'm making it, it is Sexual Awareness Month. It kind of just hit me to share my story. I feel like I have not seen a lot of people talking about sexual assault and kind of just spreading awareness. While it is a heavy subject and not everyone has gone through it, I feel like I just don't see it. And I just want to be a voice for people that cannot speak up. I've thought about making this video for months, for years. The whole reason I got into YouTube is to just kind of talk about my situation. I recently got a I got my Medusa tattoo that I have been wanting to get for years, almost a year ago. And I really wanted to talk about my story as soon as I got that tattoo, and I tried to make the video, but I just couldn't really talk about the details, so I feel like this is the best that I can do at the moment. It's not that I felt ready to make this video, it's kind of more that I kind of felt triggered to. I just had a moment where I felt like my assaulter had some type of power over me, and while he may not know it, I kind of just felt like that in the back of my mind, and I just didn't want that. It's been almost 15 years since I've dealt with my experience. I was 8 years old, turning 23 in July, and it still affects me every day. Mentally and emotionally, I deal with anxiety, PTSD, overthinking, and just hyper awareness. I may have had that beforehand, but it definitely made it worse. And yeah, I've just been dealing with that for so long, and I've kind of just really realized that I had that, and I'm struggling with it as of recently. I've dealt with nightmares as long as I can remember, where I wake up and I'm crying from that nightmare. Sometimes I'll remember, sometimes I won't, but sometimes I just don't want to, and I kind of just black that out. I feel like this situation never really leaves me alone. I try to like move on, find distractions, just try to move on, as people say, and it still is like a shadow. It lingers, it does not leave me alone. I still have to face it even when I don't want to. This is a daily thing, so it's a day-to-day life where I'm struggling with learning to trust people. That can be new people, old people. I feel like people that I had felt like betrayed me, and have to learn that how to trust them again and see that they've actually changed, or just trusting people in general, because the person that assaulted me was a family member. So that's just like how I felt was, how can I trust anyone if, you know, your family's supposed to be like who protects you, who you're closest to. So if someone in my inner circle were to hurt me that badly, it's like you spiral. As an 8-year-old, you don't really know how to deal with that. In normal day-to-day life situations, I'm feeling on edge, you know, like I'm just hyper aware of my surroundings. Like I get startled easily, like I'm always just on high alert. And there's so many times where like it just randomly triggers me. The simplest things can just remind me of that situation, and it gets to the point where I feel like I just can't do anything. I feel like so stuck because everything is a trigger, and it's like truly the worst feeling to not be able to like go and like out outside on your in your city because you don't know where your abuser might be. Your abuser knows where you live. He might just start knocking on your door. It's just like so uncomfortable. Like the hardest part of my situation wasn't even the moment it happened, it was the after, because I truly feel like I do get triggers of that moment, but a lot of it is like the after. I really feel like if the people around me were to have given me time, let me process the situation and not just try to do um their own kind of therapy, like what's it called, the therapy where you're just forced to be with that person. Like I don't know, I feel like maybe I would have been a bit better, a bit mentally stable. I really felt like I was just a deer thrown in with wolves or like lions or something, where I was never going to make it out alive. And in my mind, I really think about alive as like well. But like I feel like I really was able to somehow somewhat make it out, because like I'm doing good. I don't know what the definition of good could be, but like I have a good job, I have a good relationship with my siblings. I'm doing like what I enjoy to do, but like it's kind of like, is it all worth it if like when I'm at home by myself, like I don't know what to do. I've talked about this in on my channel and like just in life, where I've never had a romantic relationship. The most I've done with a guy is have a side hug, because I don't know how to let someone in and how to be vulnerable, because I just feel like I'm gonna be triggered. I feel like I'm just like sometimes not ready for it, but it's like then that's where kind of where like feel like the power is, because like I want to be loved and like be in a relationship, but how can I do so? And like it's just a cycle of wanting to be in a relationship but not wanting to be triggered. There's so much like trust, vulnerability that goes into it, and just boundaries, and like trying to tell the person like this is my situation, like I don't want to rush into things, I want to take things slow. And like the fear of being misunderstood and people trying to tell me that like I have to be over the situation, like how to just cope even with platonic relationships. I have to feel safe with people, because as I said, like if someone that's family did that to me, it's like now I'm on edge with everyone else, because like I just don't know who to trust. I also tend to like push people away, but like need people. And it's like I'll be having a trigger where I'm just crying, and like someone will ask me like what's wrong, and I'm just like nothing, because I don't want to talk about it. And like if they leave, I just feel horrible, because like I push them away, but I really need them. So like the best thing for me that I appreciate is when someone's just there, like they don't really like ask, but they're just like there for me, so I know that they're there. So it's like I want to be alone, but I don't want to feel alone, and that's something that I've always felt with, and like I've felt the opposite of. I mean, I guess the positive thing is really learning like who was there for me. I guess also for me, like learning to just see how people changed and became more aware of how the situation was and like how horrible it was, because there's people that I'll never forgive. Like never. Like I feel like we're past the part where I need an apology. We're past the part where I want you in my life. The people I have right now is all I need. The people that chose to stay it out with my abuser can stay there. I don't need them. But like it made me appreciate the people that were there for me, that never turned to my abuser. There's only a few people that like I will, I guess, ignore that part of like them not really understanding, and that's because they were children. If you're a grown adult, I can't. Learning how to feel safe, like if it happened in my own house, like I feel like I don't know what to do. Like I'm stuck in my head with my thoughts. Like everywhere I go, it's like I can't really feel safe, and like I had to learn how to feel safe and like where to find a safe place, because in therapy they would always tell me like oh, okay, find your safe place in your head. But it's like, I can't, like, I don't know what a safe place is, you know? People think of their family, their home, and stuff like that, and I just didn't. I'm still trying to learn how to heal through this whole thing, you know. I'm not in therapy anymore because, like, I don't know, it gets to, it, like, maybe I do need to go back, but I felt like I was doing good. Well, I was getting to the point where I had to do that type of therapy where you start hearing their name, start, you know, going to family events and having to see that person there, and like, I can't do that. I'll I'll never be able to get to that point where like I can be on good terms with the people that support him and the person, because the person that support him are basically him, because if you supported him, your attachment of him now, and I just don't want to be near you. I have my good days and my bad days. And like it's been to a point where I kind of always feel like when there's good, there's always going to be bad. And for the longest, because he's a drug addict, so he would disappear and reappear, and I feel like when he disappeared I would do so well, whether that was in school, at home. Like when he would reappear, like everything would just go crashing down. And like it kind of just made me feel like I was stuck in this pattern where like I could never be happy when things were going good, because I felt like they're just going to go bad again. um I would just like feel stuck, like in life, um wherever. Like if I just didn't want to do anything because I didn't know where he was gonna be, how I was gonna feel, like if I was gonna be triggered by stuff. Like I just couldn't do anything. Like sometimes I felt like I wasn't making any kind of progress, and like I was never going to like heal from the situation. Like at this point I'm still not healed, and it's like it's something that's never gonna go away, and it really sucks. But I'm just, I feel like sometimes I just kind of have to like leave everything, you know, like that's the only thing that's really helped me, is like leaving. Like when I am triggered, I literally will leave my house and go for a walk, because that action, like I don't know, like for one, just like walking in nature, music on, makes me feel good. But like being able to just escape that for a second, like step out of reality, is like the only thing that really helps. Like I've learned that healing isn't just about like getting better. It's like managing the bad days, you know, making it not get to like an extreme level. I got my Medusa tattoo because like I learned about Medusa's story, and just the symbol that she had become of like empowerment and strength, and that's what I want. So like when I look at my tattoo, I don't think of the situation. I think of like how strong I am and how like I've persevered so much. And like for me, that tattoo, it's very important. It was very important for me to get it exactly how like I just envisioned it. And like shout out to my tattoo artist, because like I love my tattoo. Like I will never regret it. I like am obsessed with it. This is it. It's just beautiful. And like she has a bit of cracks. She has her snakes. She's like on this kind of like Greek podium, and like for me it really just is about like strength and perseverance, and just trying not to feel like that person has any power over me. Something I've realized though is that I'm still me. The, you know, kid that would always run around and like not really care what anyone would say, you know, always laughing, trying to make light of every situation, and just like be goofy. Like overall, like those parts of me weren't taken away. Like there's they're still there. That's still me. And it sucks that at one point I kind of felt like that was stripped away from me. And like maybe it was for a second, not stripped away, but like hidden. Like it felt like there's so much like negative stuff, um like layered above all the good stuff, that like I couldn't really see that was still there. Like I still have joy, I still have my goals and ambitions, and like my personality. And it sucks because I do realize sometimes that I feel like I have no personality. Like I'm just like kind of feel sometimes dull and like kind of just sad all the time. And it's not even like a sad where like sometimes I feel like I don't have a reason to be sad. Like I kind of compare myself and stuff. But yeah, like I have to like remember through everything that like I'm still me. That can't be taken away from me. Like it's a part of me. And I feel like through this YouTube journey, it's kind of showing that like I am still me because like I still have like I still want to share like my light with others and like cheer people up. And like I feel like if you could cheer people up, like you have to have some light in you and um have to still be like the person you are at your core. What's really helped me throughout these past 15 years has been therapy. I had a whole video on therapy on my channel about like how I was just scared to go back to therapy because as a kid I went to therapy for a couple of things, but the last reason was for my sexual assault. Not to get all down when I'm trying to say some positive stuff, but yeah, it just wasn't an overall good experience. So I was just scared going into it. But the last time I went to therapy, it really helped me. I feel like I learned how to just cope, you know, instead of forget the situation. Because I feel like you can't ever really forget it. And if you do, it'll come back. You know, if you same thing like if you bottle up your emotions, it'll explode, and that's exactly how I feel like it is. And like on that topic of like bottling things up, like I would do that just because I didn't want to have to face those emotions, have to feel that. And really now I'm just letting everything hit me instead of letting it all hit me at once because that's just worse. And that has helped me a lot, just learning how to deal with emotions because even when you bottle up your emotions and then they all kind of lash out, you're not really handling it. Like I would go into a spiral, like I just didn't know what to do. And now like I know like breathing techniques, you know, like what things to distract myself with to just relax and be calm, you know? A big one is time and patience. It's crazy because 15 years seems like a lot, but I really feel like I haven't really actually dealt with what has happened until like a couple years back, maybe even less. So it does suck. I feel like I've just been restarting. Time and patience does not actually, you know, erase the situation. It just helps you learn how to deal with it on a day to day. And of course, you know, like the small wins. For me, that's literally just like driving by a certain street that does not bring back good memories. But like using those breathing techniques to not spiral and like even personal wins, like me getting my like first big girl job, that is a win to me, and it shows me like that moment wasn't the end, you know? Like I still have so much good ahead of me. Some days healing isn't me journaling and practicing a meditation. It's me simply just getting up and following a routine, like going to the gym. That's healing, you know? The smallest things like become like such a important thing, you know, like being able to do the simplest things. Lastly is like my support system. That is something that I have really treasured, and that's just like the ultimate, I guess, core message that I've had throughout my journey, is like just learning who to value and who to lean on. And if I can lean on someone that is like very important and it just is super significant and makes me realize that like this person to me is important somewhere in my life. The people who stayed by my side, you know, 24/7, and never undermined my feelings. The people who didn't try to fix me and tell me how I should be reacting to a situation, and, you know, just let me feel how I want to feel. And of course, there's a difference between feeling supported and understood. There's like hard to understand the situation. Like, obviously, someone that has not gone through that can't understand it. But if you could, I guess, validate my feelings, and just support me and just, be there for me, that's amazing. And I feel like it doesn't really matter when these people came in to support me. And I'm saying about like new friends, new people, like those people are still as important as the people that were there since the beginning to help me. I just want to say to people that have experienced a situation like mine that you're not alone. A bunch of times you can feel alone, and obviously it's going to be a horrible feeling, but it's also important to just acknowledge that, acknowledge how you feel, and realize that, that's not the truth. That's just how you're feeling at the moment. But, there's people that see you and understand you. If you've already like came out about your experience, I'm proud of you. And if you haven't, I'm proud of you, and I'm rooting for you and for you to feel ready when you can. I know people have different circumstances and it's just a hard thing. So, like I'm always rooting for everyone that's been in a similar situation, because it it could really fuck you up. And of course, healing looks different on everyone. Do not compare yourself. Take your time and just, learn to cope with it, and don't rush into anything. There's just no right way to heal. It's all up to you. There's going to be a lot of trial and error. And, it's like there's going to be one day where you kind of feel like, okay, like I'm starting to manage it. And that's a win. I'm still healing. I'm still me. I'm not defined by that situation. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. As always, you're important, you matter, and you're loved. Bye, guys.